What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Top 5 on this glorious Top 5 Friday, and I'm so excited to be talking to you about one of my favorite bands from the 80s, and really of all time, Talking Heads, and my personal favorite Top 5 songs of theirs. Let's not waste any time, let's get right to it at number 5. Born Under Punches from the 1980 album Remain in Light, which for my money is probably my favorite album of theirs. And this is such a strong opening track. Just from the opening second, you hear some guy go, ah, and then you're like, whoa, what's going on? And then it has this really cool groove that's like both danceable and off kilter at the same time, which is how a lot of the best Talking Heads music is, but this one's especially weird, especially lyrically. David Byrne just like spouting out these strange phrases that he's repeating a lot, like I'm a government man, and he just sounds like so intense and paranoid, and like the whole song just feels very tense and you're not sure where it's going to go next, and that is what I love about it. So yeah, that is my number 5. Now at number 4, This Must Be the Place, in parentheses, Naive Melody, off of Speaking in Tongues from 1983. This being almost the opposite of Born Under Punches. It's just very laid back, very mellow, which is a little unusual for Talking Heads, but they fit right into the groove on this one. And it's just got this cool, like, little pulse to it on the guitar that just keeps the song moving. But then the keyboards on this are really cool. Almost has like a woodwind sound that's just very light and kind of delightful. And David Byrne singing on it is quite pretty, I must say. And it's one of those songs that like you hear it out and about, you're like, oh yeah, man, I remember I love this song, and it's just still to this day one of my favorites by the Talking Heads. So that is at number 4. Now at number 3, Life During Wartime, off of 1979's Fear of Music. This is one of the songs that really broke them into the mainstream. Of course, there were some other hits before that, like Psycho Killer, but this one especially was one of the first ones that, kind of like Born Under Punches, that has kind of this frantic feeling. It's a very fast pace, makes you want to dance while also make you worry about wartime. You know, the lyrics are just in your face, but I just love the chorus, like, this ain't no party, this ain't no disco, I don't have time for that now. And it's just so, David Byrne, man, the way he sings, it's just so fun. And he's like playing these different personas and having so much fun with it, you can tell. And what's cool is he's saying this ain't no party and it's not a disco, but it feels musically like it could be, because it has such a cool groove while at the same time being so insane, and I love it. So that is at number 3. Now at number 2, Burning Down the House, off of Speaking in Tongues. Again, man, come on. The opening track off this record, when you hear that acoustic guitar just doing that kind of thing, you're like, oh yeah, man, it's gonna happen. And yeah, it's just one of the best really pop songs of the decade, and one that I still listen to. Actually, if I had to be honest, it's the one I go back to the most. I listen to this all the time on my 80s playlist. It's just so fun. And it's a simple song musically, just a couple of chords, but the way that it's performed, especially if you watch their Jonathan Demme produced live concert, Stop Making Sense. It is fantastic. They take it up a notch and they're just like doing these dance moves. It's so fun, and you got to love it. So that's number 2. Now at number 1, Once in a Lifetime. Yes, you got to have this at your number one. I mean, this is just the Talking Head songs for me. I mean, you got David Byrne doing this kind of spoken word thing on the verse where he's saying, you may ask yourself, how did I get here with a beautiful wife and all this stuff? And it's so weird. And then when you see the video as well, where he's wearing this suit that's too big for him, and he's doing these weird dance moves like this, and it's just like one of the most bizarre things of all time. But then at the same time, it's so catchy when that chorus kicks in and you just want to sing along, and then that bass groove, that da-dun-dun-dun, da-dun-dun-dun. It's one of those things that's simplistic. You know, Talking Heads, they took a lot from African music and different styles of music that you wouldn't think that they really stole from, that they incorporated. And then, of course, working with the genius, Brian Eno, you know, you can tell sonically that the mixture of these different things of like ambient music and African music and just the whole CBGB scene in New York of, for lack of a better word, alternative music at the time, kind of punk rock and that kind of sensibility of doing something different. This song checks all those boxes, and for that reason, it's number one. And yeah, just one of the most fun bands of all time. And David Byrne's still out there doing his thing, you know, but yeah, these are the ones I revisit the most. So let me know in the comments below, what would your top 5 be? If you're so bold, leave me a top 10. Talking Heads, man, one of the greatest. So thank you guys so much for watching. We have top 5s every Friday, album reviews, so much more. Thank you. And as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.